Man, what's going on, chat? It's your boy Wavy Diesel, and we back with another reaction video, man. A lot of y'all are probably returning viewers, and y'all see that I have a different background. I have just recently moved, so W moves in the comments. We finna just keep going harder and harder. Y'all been showing us a lot of love, so please keep showing us love. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Let's get straight into it. It says, popular YouTuber accused of kidnapping 2 women.
YouTuber once known for his family vlogging.
Look,
Go there. Come on. Can't get over here.
look at them beautiful houses in the back.
My car, where's our baby? Where's our baby?
Is now accused of kidnapping 2 women. But the story doesn't end there. Authorities say the Texas-based content creator fled the United States by booking a one-way ticket and hopping on a nearly 20-hour flight all the way to the Middle East. So how did a man with millions of...
If you fleeing, you automatically look guilty. And if you're new to the channel, let me get this understood. Let me make sure everybody understand this that's watching this. It's only 2 people that's right. It's me and the people in the comments. The judge not right. The victim not right. Nobody else is right but me and the people in the comments. I just want y'all to know that.
social media followers end up charged with aggravated kidnapping. Well, it all began on November 22nd. That's when a woman exchanged numbers with 26-year-old Corey Pritchett Jr. The woman told authorities the following day she and another woman met up with Pritchett. They did some pretty harmless activities like working out, ATV riding, then bowling. But it was at the bowling alley where things took an intense turn. While there, the 2 women felt like something was off when Pritchett and his 2 friends started acting strange. The women told police they were repeatedly looking around, seemed on edge, and were acting suspicious. The unnamed women told police they learned Pritchett and his friends were having issues with another group that was there at the bowling alley. So they reportedly told Pritchett if he continued acting that way, he should just leave with his friends. Pritchett in turn stepped out with his friends, but never returned, leaving the women behind. After some time, the women texted him because...
I just want to make sure everybody's on the same point. He was with some shorties that he just met not too long ago. They out bowling. They either see somebody that could be a potential op, you know what I mean, or is a op, and they had to dip, you feel me? So you caught up.
Because they left their stuff in his car. So he asked them to meet at the H-E-B grocery store parking lot to get their stuff back. When the 2 women showed up, he switched gears and offered to drive them home, and they said yes. But according...
they left something in his whip. They had to link up. Now, for some reason, the shorty's finna get in the same car with him after he was just tweaking out. I don't know why you would do that if he already started acting weird for the day. You might well let that cool off and holler at him another day.
According to the women, Pritchett flipped the script once again. During that drive, he reportedly began acting erratically and skipped what was supposed to be the route to drop them off. The women say Pritchett claimed someone was after him and started making phone calls. Then Pritchett began driving at high speeds, going past 100 miles per hour. The women claim he pulled out a gold-colored handgun and started waving it around the sunroof while still driving erratically fast, then began firing off rounds out of the car window. One of the women reportedly told Pritchett to take her back to her apartment and try to calm him down by asking him to pray with them. But he still continued driving crazy fast down the I-10 highway. Pritchett then made a video call to a woman reportedly saved in his phone under future wife. He asked the...
He's taking 2 girls by hostage. Not by hostage. He's taking 2 girls and skip their driveway, you feel me? He keep going, and he's shooting out the window. I ain't know nobody's side. Just want y'all to know that. I'm just trying to understand what would make him do something like this, to be having 2 girls in the back of the car instead of just dropping them off and then handling your business, bro. I don't know. And shooting out the window, I'm not gonna lie, that's some pussy stuff, in my opinion. That's some stuff you just don't do. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't care how mad I am. I don't know nothing. It ain't no point. It ain't that ain't no point. I feel like.
Woman on the call, if I had the perfect opportunity and was in the middle of nowhere where no one could hear them scream, should I just go ahead and do it? And the woman on the line reportedly responded, yes. For the women in Pritchett's car, though, they were seeing...
Whoa. Is this recorded? Did he say this? Or this was just what was stated by the women that was in the car? Not gonna lie, their opinion is valid. You know what I'm saying? Is valued heavily in this case that's about to take place. So, hey man,
Seemingly in fear of their
They can get that
lives.
phone
The women
call.
told police that Pritchett told them, "I'm gonna F y'all and then kill y'all." By this point, the women said they were texting one another during all of this. But authorities say Pritchett then started pointing the gun at them and took their phones away so they couldn't communicate with each other.
No
According to police,
way.
Pritchett then pulled off the highway onto the shoulder of I-10 near Sealy, Texas. Seemingly with a change of heart, he told the women to get out of his car, telling them this is your only opportunity. One of the women said she tried to get her phone back, but wasn't able to.
See, that's what I ain't gonna lie. I already knew he wasn't on that tight timing and wetting them two shorties up for no real reason. You feel me? I already knew he wasn't on that tight timing. What's the point though? Like you done put yourself in such a big situation. Now you done flee the country over some little like this, bro. Like why would you do something like that?
Then Pritchett
No, you
drove
can't
off,
handle
leaving them
yourself in
stranded
jail.
on the side of the road at night. The women told police they spent more than an hour along the side of the highway before they were able to flag down a driver who called 911. But clues pieced together by investigators would help corroborate their story. One of the women had the Life 360 app on her phone, and screenshots, which included timestamps and the route they took, supported the victim's story of what happened. Pritchett was ID'd through his driver's license and social media pages. But when investigators reached out to him, his phone was no longer in service. Instead, they found out through TikTok that he was planning to move to Dubai.
I moved to Dubai. The people that's wondering. Feel so good out here. My kids, listen. So I'm having more kids, right? With my future wife, for sure. And Aiden. My kids are gonna be homeschooled, bro. It's getting real wicked in the United States. A lot of y'all not paying attention because a lot of y'all sleep, and the news outlets are not speaking on a lot of that's going on there. It's gonna get real over there. Y'all might think I'm lying. Y'all might think I'm just talking. Y'all seen other people probably saying it. But you know, people don't believe until the shit hit the fan. That's one thing I noticed about most people in the United States. They want to party, live life, until it hit the fan. When they fan it, everybody like, oh, they want to scatter. No.
But according to the FBI, they confirmed Pritchett bought a one-way ticket to Qatar on December 9th. A little more than 2 weeks later after buying that one-way plane ticket, Pritchett was officially charged on December 26th with one count of aggravated kidnapping.
Time could you really get for kidnapping? Like what's somebody leave in the comments what's the average time you would get for kidnapping? I want to know. It
News
can't be that
station
much.
KPRC, along with the caption, "Letter to the internet, it's finna be a ball. Let the show begin, hashtag Houston, Texas. Let me show you how to take monsters down the hashtag smooth way. You see it says accused, right? Don't worry, LOL. I'm finna give you the details on here and in the court of law. They gonna regret effing with me like I'm just some goofy or some. Oh, and I got the best lawyer in Houston." A day later, he posted a video with the victims as they were ATV riding.
Bro, why would you taunt the police and you're not even in the case yet? Why would you taunt the judge and the police and you haven't even started fighting this case yet, bro? Obviously, you're not going to be treated fairly in a situation by already taunting them. You know what I mean? That's not going to help your lawyer in any way. Like, this is your fault. Like, that's why I can't stand with people, bro. When you throw a rock and you hit somebody, do not hide your hand, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to let your lawyer talk for you and get you out of certain situation. You feel me? Because that's how life works now. You know what I'm saying? In the real world. But if you throw a rock and you hit somebody, do not hold your hand away, bro. Like you ain't do it. Like don't hide your hand, bro. If you gonna do something, stand on it. You know what I mean? Don't try and taunt them like you a big bad boy. You know what I'm saying? Because if it hit the fan, you gotta shut up then. You know what I'm saying? So you might as well just shut up now. That's how I feel, in my opinion.
That video was captioned tagging Houston PD as he wrote in part, "We have a case here of popular YouTuber Corey SSG kidnapping two white girls, and he's currently on the run in Dubai, I think. IDK, but yeah, the FBI should be after him." A pretty wild case that is now ranging across two completely different countries that are thousands of miles away from one another. So let's bring on retired FBI agent Colin Schmidt.
Bro, we need some body cam footage of the females getting picked up by the officers, stranded on the side of the road, or if they got dropped off, however the case may be. We need body cam footage to see how like agitated they were.
to get his thoughts on this. Colin, thank you so much for joining me today. What is your reaction to this case, from Pritchett's alleged erratic behavior to trapping these two women allegedly in his car and leaving them stranded on the side of the road, then later fleeing off to Qatar?
Well, I think the first thing for investigators is kind of look at the totality of the circumstances and look at the big picture, as well as look at credibility of who the complainants are, as well as what's really going on here between these two people, and that's based upon the recent instances of YouTubers or bloggers or social media influencers faking in their own kidnappings. So to prevent a waste of resources, they have to just take a step back and kind of look at the big picture. And then, of course, if there is some merit to this, then they're going to have to kind of dig in and find out exactly what really went on between these two.
And investigators also say that, GPS data from Life 360, which was an app that was on one of
I'm not gonna lie, Life 360 be in a lot of cases, bro. Life 360 done saved a lot of people, not lives, but saved a lot of people time with finding out a specific person's location when need be. I'm not gonna cap. Shout out to Life 360.
of the women's phones that helped corroborate their story. Talk to me about how investigators use that type of data to kind of piece together, or at least verify, these types of allegations.
Well, in this case, the victim made it easy for law enforcement to track her because they did have the Life 360 app on there. I'm familiar with the app. It's fantastic. And I have used it with my kids as well. So if that wasn't on there, the first step with all these cases, and even if it's a bank robbery or a fraud case, is going to be the phones, and to look in to see if there's any GPS data, tracking data in that phone to find out and to corroborate what the victim is saying that the assailant did.
Yeah, and it's also, unclear right now, but from what we do know now, do you think the erratic behavior on Pritchett's behalf might have been someone actually after him, as he had told these women allegedly? Or do you think there's another reason, possibly like drugs, that kind of made him?
What that got to do with anything? Like, I believe somebody was really after him. I know it sounds like I'm taking his side, but like I hate when they try to throw out scenarios to hurt somebody's character. You know what I mean? Right.
Him act erratically during this whole incident?
Well, with the limited information, available, you'd be speculating on why he was acting so erratic. So when somebody's acting erratic, there's some a catalyst or some sort of antecedent that make them do that. So either it's something internal or external, and that's one thing that's going to come out, so to speak, in the wash as the investigators do their investigation and start talking to people and find out why he was behaving in such an odd manner. And then the fact that he fled to Qatar, which is kind of an unusual country to go to, because of it, I doubt he speaks Arabic. Does he have some sort of connection to that country?
Yeah, and I was also, going to ask you what your thoughts
Bro, speak Arabic? Tough.
are on him fleeing to Qatar. What all goes into extraditing a kidnapping suspect? And in your opinion, how long do you think it'll take before he's actually back in the United States?
Well, first thing is, if we have extradition with Qatar, I'm not aware whether we do or don't for that particular crime, because extradition is crime specific. Some crimes are extraditable, some aren't. And then the extradition process is generally very long and takes at least a year to 2 years. Generally, what the authorities do is they just have the country expel or deport the person that's there. It's a much faster process. Unless the person has some sort of citizenship with that country. And I doubt this gentleman has any citizenship with Qatar.
And do you think that
That's tough. That's tough right there.
that trip was planned this whole time, or do you think he kind of did it as an escape to escape those now criminal charges that he's facing? Because I can't imagine, leaving your children behind to go start a new life in a completely different country and just
On game. No cap. Like, I ain't gonna lie. That's some real spill she just said right there. Like, that's why I'm saying again, don't throw a rock and hide your hand. Cause you should have never did half of the stuff. Shooting out the window is crazy. Faking like you finna smack these girls up with your blick, like saying you about to end they, you know what I'm saying, is weak, bro. Like everything he did was a weak manner. So I don't know what he got going on in his personal life that he need to take care of and start running away from, but it sounds like he got a lot of personal issues, and he finna have a lot of time to think about those personal issues. But he'll always be able to run it back up again. I'm pretty sure he got a lot of investments, you know what I'm saying? He'll be fine, you know what I'm saying? He'll learn from this mistake.
Leave them behind in Texas.
Well, if he was going to Mexico, I would say there wasn't a lot of thought put into it because obviously it's just right over the border. But to take an international flight, I mean, you have to fly through an international hub, whether it be Houston or Los Angeles or New York, and then make a couple of connections to get to Qatar. So, and then, of course, the flight itself is pretty expensive, and then there is going to be some scrutiny on him on when he lands through the authorities there in Qatar. So there had to be some sort of planning to go into it because, like I said, he's just not driving his car over the border going down to Mexicali. He's going to a foreign country, and it's approximately an 18-hour flight.
Yeah, and booking that one-way ticket as well too. I can't even imagine kind of going back to this alleged crime as well. Can't imagine what it was like for these two women who were stranded on that highway until they were able to flag down a driver who eventually called 911, and then authorities arrived as well too. But
That was weird.
kind of going back to the overall alleged offense in this case, what do you kind of make of just leaving two women stranded on a highway, and then just
That's weak sauce, bro. Like so much things could have happened to them on the side of the road. People who really kidnap people could have picked them up and really never heard of them again. Like real deal. Some people who really do this for real. Animals, you know what I'm saying? With no phone is crazy. I wouldn't even want to be stranded with no phone. You feel me? He gonna have to pay that penny for that. Even if he just gets sued and spend like a year in jail, he's still gonna have to cough up some cheese.
again fleeing off to a completely different country?
Well, that tells me that there wasn't much thought put into this. It sounds more like this was an impulse crime. He was reacting to some sort of something maybe the women had done to him, or vice versa, and this was reaction, and he didn't think it through. And then I think finally it kind of dawned on him that what he had done is basically going to land him in jail, and he essentially panicked. Kicked him out or put him on the side of the road, and then obviously left the country. So he's definitely has a lot going on inside his head, and this case is only going to probably get stranger as the investigators dig in.
No cap.
Yeah, and you mentioned something earlier in our discussion, just about his whole social media persona, which is kind of another added layer to this whole entire story. Pritchett has millions of followers across different social media platforms, but then you tack on this alleged behavior and this alleged or this crime as well too. What do you make of all of that, given that he was this kind of apparent rise on social media, and then he got kind of famous as well too, doing family content, and then for this to kind of come out? What do you make of just kind of that Jekyll and Hyde?
Bro, I used to really watch, bro. Like I hate this form, you know what I mean? Like, and there'd be a lot of personal things that especially men can't talk about. Not saying that women just have a lot of people to talk to, but you're looked at as weak when you try to speak out as a man about your problems. So dang, I really hope that he can find help too. Like, of course we wanna like understand how police work and wanna point fingers when someone shouldn't have done what they did, but it'd be a lot of hurt people out here, hurt men, hurt women. Bro, please find somebody to talk to, bro, because it may even be a different situation where he just ended his life due to how much going on, you know what I'm saying? But in this case, he just acted out erratically, however you say it, and now he's fighting what he's fighting now. So if you need help, please call somebody, you know what I mean?
Situation
Call
that we're
me.
kind of seeing all unfold.
DM me and talk to me.
Well, that's from where I started with this, that because of his social media presence, law enforcement is going to have to kind of dig in and kind of determine what the motive behind this was. Maybe he had no intent of harming these women. He was just doing this for the classic clicks, or like I said, he had something going on in his life that made him panic. But it seems like there's such in society now, there's such a intense pressure to get quote unquote clicks that we see these social media people doing some amazingly stupid and abhorrent things. And frankly, I think law enforcement and the society as a whole is really kind of getting tired of it, and the hammer is starting to fall on these people for their behaviors.
Now, say Pritchett makes it back to the United States, he's facing this kidnapping charge. How long of a, potential sentence or punishment do you think that he could be facing now?
Yeah.
Well, if the federal authorities get involved, I believe it's a you could get up to life in prison for kidnapping.
I don't know about that one, boss. I hate to act like I know everything, but life? Thought he was gonna say a 20 ball, boy. He ain't scratched these girls up. Bro, they willingly got in his car. You know what I mean? After he was already acting weird. Like, it won't no red flag. Coach, like, you just met him. You know he got a family. Like, why feel weird? Like, it already got weird at the bowling alley. Why get back in his car? You know what I mean?
So, depending on the circumstances and if it's provable, in this case, he didn't take the victims over state lines. So there's an argument that it's not a federal crime. However, there is a kidnapping statute in Texas. So, and Texas has a pretty aggressive law enforcement culture there. So he's going to be facing some jail time.
Yeah, he definitely needs some jail time. I'm gonna keep it all the way 100 because it's wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely wrong for what he did. It's wrong. Why would you kidnap two girls and start shooting out the air, bro? It's literally no real reason to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that he get the. You know what I'm saying? I'm the judge. So let me think real quick what I would give his ass. You know what I mean? I need to hear the girl's side of I need to know like his side of the story as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to say like, yeah, he deserved this. You know what I mean? So what I will say is at least 5 years probation, bro, because he did not hit them. He did not scratch them. Like, he need either 3.5 years in jail or 5 years on probation. Or do 2 and 3. You know what I mean? 10, 20 is just downright outrageous, bro. Like, he should do a year in jail and 4 years on probation. Like, bro, he'll learn his lesson. You know what I'm saying? He'll never do that again by learning his lesson. You know what I'm saying? Giving somebody life for 20 ball it's tough. That's tough.
If it turns out that this was legitimate kidnapping and these women are willing to testify.
All right. Well, Colin, I want to thank you so much for joining me and giving me insight into this case. Before we sign you off, though, anything else you'd like to add?
I think it just comes, like I said, full circle about all this social media clicking nonsense, and it's really gotten out of hand.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm turning my face up to that because I do content. I love doing content. It make me happy. It made me happy fucking with people. I mean, messing with people, bro. You feel me? So like, I don't think he did it for clicks. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure. I understand it do be a lot of weird stuff that people do for that click. But I don't think this was to transpire to. I wish he could sweat this under the rug instead of trying to help him and clicking in views.
And I think it's long past time for authorities to start cracking down because people are getting harmed.
All right, Colin, again, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
I ain't like that.
Thank you. Have a great day.
I don't think that was by purpose. You know what I mean? A lot of other people' purpose is for actually clicks and stuff. I don't think he did this for that. You know what I mean? But shout out to y'all, man. If you're a returning viewer, I really appreciate you, man. We're going to keep going up. And if you're a new viewer, Man, tap into everything. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, the clothing brand. You gonna love it here. I promise you, bro. And you gonna be like, bro, I've been watching him I've been watching him when he was just doing reactions. So make sure y'all stay tuned in. I love y'all, and we out.
I ain't got time for goofy bitches and none of that stupid shit. I'm out of town, ride around with ain't scared to use this bitch. Nigga got a pole, but he ain't gon' blow cause he ain't used to it. Yeah, this